Welcome back to Plugged In Australia, the podcast keeping you charged on all things electric here in the land down under. I'm your host Jamie, broadcasting from Sydney on this fine late January afternoon. We've got a packed episode today with fresh developments from Tesla's feature tweaks to exciting new confirmation models. A deep dive into why EV adoption isn't accelerating as fast as some hoped, and even a big funding win for homegrown autonomous tech. Whether you're commuting in the city, planning a regional road trip, or just weighing up your next car, stick around, we're unpacking it all. Okay, let's jump into it. It starts with some eyebrow-raising news from Tesla that's got owners and watchers talking overseas. Though we're breathing easy here for a moment, Tesla's decided to pull a fairly standard driver assist feature from entry-level versions of its popular models in the United States, specifically the lane centering function known as auto steer. That's the tech that helps keep you centered in your lane on highways and works very well alongside adaptive cruise control. Now in the US, if you want that now on a base Model 3, or Model Y, or the Cybertruck, you'll need to subscribe to Full Self-Driving Supervised, aka FSD, either paying a monthly fee or a hefty one-off amount. It's a move that's raised questions about value, especially when you consider that even affordable everyday cars like the Toyota Corolla come with similar lane-keeping assistant as standard equipment, and with no extra subscriptions required. Thinking behind it seems tied to pushing more drivers towards Tesla's advanced autonomy package, but adoption rates have been lower than anticipated globally. Now, good news for us Aussies, our local Teslas are not yet affected, with that lane centering tech still included without needing the premium add-on. Now that keeps Tesla competitive against brands like BYD, Kia and even Toyota that bundle these safety features in from the start. We'll be watching closely. If this rolls out here, it could shift the conversation on what buyers expect as baseline in an EV. Now, shifting gears to something more positive, for budget-friendly minded families, I should say, eyeing a switch to full electric, Hyundai has locked in details for its upcoming Elexio medium SUV, and it's shaping up as a direct shot at the Tesla Model Y dominance. It's due to launch early this year. The Elexio will launch with just one fully loaded grade called the Elite and priced at $59,990 drive away nationwide. Now that's noticeably undercutting the rear-wheel drive Model Y and putting it in the ballpark of rivals like the BYD C-Line 7. Now, Tesla is due to launch the Model Y Standard, so I guess we'll see how that goes. Now, while it is thousands of dollars cheaper than Hyundai's own Ioniq 5, even after recent deals, power comes from a front-wheel drive setup with a solid 160 kilowatt-hour motor, fed by a big 88 kilowatt-hour blade-style battery for an impressive claimed 546 kilometers WLTP range. So real world, you're probably looking at around 450, which is still pretty good. Fast charging is pretty decent, 10 to 80% in under 40 minutes on a high-powered station. Now, what really stands out is how feature-packed this single trim is. Think a massive 27-inch ultra-wide display, ventilated and heated leather seats and with power adjustment, heads-up display, vehicle to load or V2L for powering gear on the go, a heat pump for efficiency, and even Australian-specific suspension tuning for our mix of highways and bumpy back roads and potholes you could lie in. Not no all drive at launch, but some variants could follow. If you're after a practical, tech-heavy family EV with a brand that is very well established here in Australia and don't want to crack the 60 grand mark, this could be one to test drive soon. Speaking of a well-established brand in Australia, we're going over to Mazda. The brand's electric roadmap keeps evolving, and honestly, it's a bit of a moving target worth tracking for anyone waiting on Japanese reliability in the EV space. We use that Japanese reliability in inverted commas there. Mazda has pivoted again, putting more emphasis on battery electric vehicles developed through its Chinese partnership with Chang'an. while pushing back its fully independent EV platform a couple of years to around 2029. That shift reflects cautious demand in some markets and focus on hybrids in the meantime. But here in Australia, we're still on track for Mazda's first proper EV push this year with a sleek 6E sedan. Expect pricing under $55,000, rear-wheel drive, a generous LFP battery, and a cabin loaded with premium tech, positioning it against heavyweights like Tesla and BYD with their Model 3 and Seal respectively. Okay, now let's take a broader look at where EV sales stand nationally, because the latest deep dive paints a picture that's optimistic in spots but highlights we've still got ground to cover. Now, despite cheaper models flooding in and more choice than ever, buy intention for pure battery electrics has stayed remarkably flat, about 38% for a few years now. What's changed is willingness to pay extra. It's down dramatically, with most folks now only prepared to match or barely exceed the price of comparable petrol car. Economic pressures are a big factor, plus a swing toward viewing EVs more for running cost savings than pure environmental wins. Now, interestingly, the arrival of bargain options like the sub 30 grand BYDs has sparked a massive surge. Instead, it's reset expectations, making pricier EVs feel less premium. Hybrids and plug-ins are stealing the show as a practical middle ground. More Aussies are open to them, and resale values are holding strong compared to some electrics that took a hit last year. Regional buyers are cooling off too, while city dwellers in higher income brackets remain the core enthusiasts. Government targets for half of new sales being electric by the mid-2030s looks ambitious on this trajectory, especially if things like potential road user charges tip the scales further. The transition is happening, but at a consumer-led pace, with hybrids bridging the gap. On a brighter local innovation note, an Australian company is getting a major boost to push boundaries in autonomous electric mobility. The Melbourne-based Applied Electric Vehicles has secured over $30 million from the National Reconstruction Fund to ramp up its unique Blanc Robots. Think seatless doors, wheelless steering wheel, autonomous pods built for industrial jobs, mining sites, logistics hubs, and even nice hazardous off-road environments. Now, these zero-emissions machines use a modified base but pack homegrown Aussie software and components. The production ramping up in the southeast suburbs. It's a win for local manufacturing talent post the big automotive exits, creating jobs and positioning Australia to export smart, green transport tech. It's exciting to see homegrown ideas tackling real-world challenges beyond passenger vehicles. Okay, on to Tesla for a moment. Some fresh off-the-line owners are getting a pleasant surprise under the hood, or rather in the camera and screens. New Model Y buyers, including those picking up vehicles built early this year, are finding their cars equipped with the latest hardware 4.5. So whether you call that hardware 4.5 or AI 4.5, so they're finding that they're getting upgraded front cameras, a bigger 16-inch center display, and enhanced computing power. Many weren't expecting the bump from the previous spec, making it a nice bonus straight out of the factory. The real payoff is in advancing towards smoother full self-driving capabilities, including the supervised version rolling out here in Australia. It edges Tesla closer to those ambitious autonomy goals and for local drivers. It means better foundation for future over-the-air updates without needing retrofix. Finally, let's round out with a luxury plug-in hybrid that's still turning heads in the premium segment. The fully updated 2026 Volvo XC60 in top spec Ultra T8 dark guise. Say that fast 3 times. This isn't a full EV, but with strong electric range and hybrid efficiency, it's a bridge for buyers wanting low emission luxury without going all in on battery yet. The Tester came in around $117,000 drive-away after options, packing a potent twin-charge setup, petrol up front, electromotor at the rear for a combined 340 kilowatts and all-wheel drive grip. Real-world electric range, only about 70 kilometres reliably, with overall fuel sipping down to those low threes when kept fully charged, jumping to 8 or 9 litres per 100 without. Ride quality is a standout. Plush air suspension soaks up bumps. Cabin is whisper quiet at speed, and the interior feels timelessly upscale with subtle refreshes keeping it modern. Downsides? Charging is AC only and not the quickest. The hybrid system's logic can feel a tad dated compared to new rivals, and there's no fresh safety rating yet. Verdict: if comfort and refinement are your priorities in a mid-size luxury SUV, this PHEV delivers beautifully, even as pure electrics close in. Not so sure with that AC only. If you plug-in hybrids, people have a tendency not to want to plug them in, and not having any DC charging and only slow AC charging, not doing anybody any favours. Now that's our latest charge through the EV landscape. Plenty of competition brewing. Thanks for tuning in to our second episode of Plugged In Australia. I appreciate any feedback you've got. So if you do have any thoughts on today's episode, or any questions about switching to electric, or tips from your own EV life, please slide in the comments, socials, or email, and I love hearing from you all. All those details are in the show notes. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and until next time, stay plugged in, drive safe, we'll catch you on the next one. Ciao.